Hello, 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 friends, people, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, everywhere. How are we doing today? I just went live a moment ago and I ended my broadcast and now I'm back again. I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I sorted myself out and now I'm back, and I hope you are doing amazingly well and having a fantastic day. I am here, I'm just here to sort of check in with you and answer questions and see what's on your mind. There's a lot of immigration news going on right now, and a lot of things to talk about. But for starters, I just wanted to open it up and hang out with you a bit and just see whatever questions that you might have. I wanted to see how I could be helpful to you. I know the big thing that's on everybody's mind right now is DACA. There was a ruling, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival program that Trump canceled or tried to cancel is back on. Good morning. Good morning. I'm back. Yeah, I had a little bit of technical difficulties. Aman Deep, my friend in Oakland on Facebook or YouTube. How are you doing in Oakland? Love the Bay Area. Love it there. Love it. All right. Getting great questions. I'm going to try to say your name. Hidayatullah Babak. Thank you. I love your name, and thank you so much for your question. Any news about the embassy consulates operations outside the United States? Yes, I have lots of news about that. People ask me all the time, Josh, what's going on with the consulates? Are they open? Are they closed? Are they processing visas? Are they not? And the answer is that they are open. They are open. They are open. They are open. Now, they're not processing cases the way that they probably did before the pandemic, but they are open. Okay. And people say, well, why do you say the consulates are open? The embassies are open. I was told that they're closed and they're not going to reopen. Well, guess what? The State Department publishes monthly bulletins that show how many visas that they issue in each category. In fact, let's just jump right into that. That would be a good thing to show you. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can pull it up. Because the consulates are not closed. That's the main point. Take a look at this. I'll see if I can. I'm scared to do technically. Let's see here. All right. Can you see my screen? Okay, forget that. I went into infinity. I will share with you the monthly statistics, but just to give you a sense of it, let's take a look at this in Mumbai, for example. It looks to me like they issued about 100. This is in October of 2020, so during the pandemic. Mumbai issued approximately 100 marriage-based visas in October of 2020. So there you go. They're open. They are open right now. And they're really open if you sue them, which is what I do to help people who are delayed. Then they're really open. Jason Daniel, our friend on, let's see here, our friend on YouTube. Any idea on the changes brought by S386? Will we see EB categories move forward? I have not followed that particular bill closely, so I don't know much about the status of that bill. Basically, by way of background, the immigration system in the United States, for better or worse, divides countries into categories. So there are countries like India and China that have a lot of people in them, and a lot of those people are seeking visas. And so they make people, Mexico, Philippines, they make those people wait longer. And it's a matter of controversy. And there was a bill called S-386 that was designed to change the country classifications. But my own opinion, and I'm not informed on this, but my own opinion is that the likelihood of this becoming a law is very low. And that's why I haven't paid much attention to it. But thank you for your question. Here we have Alexander Damas. Thank you so much. Alexander Damas, thank you for your question. Are you the author of The Three Musketeers? Or is that someone else? Okay, what other questions do we have? All right, here's a question from Cosman on you. First of all, thank you so much for checking me out on YouTube. I'm really proud of that channel and hopeful that that you guys are getting a lot of value out of my YouTube channel. I have a bunch of cool videos coming up that I put a lot of work into, and actually even bought a camera. So all my other videos have been, I just made them with my phone, and now I bought a camera, so I'm really taking it up to the next level. But to answer your question, it says here, if I work for 5 years in USA for a programming job, am I eligible for naturalization? So naturalization is a way to get US citizenship if you have a green card. So if you have a green card, you can choose to become a US citizen if you meet certain requirements. You cannot qualify for naturalization if you have a programming job for 5 years. So what you have to think about is how to get a green card. Once you get a green card, you can then take a look at what you would need to do to qualify for naturalization. So the question, I think, for you, Cosman, is how do you get a green card? And the answer would be through the green card lottery, through an employer petition, many, many other ways. But thank you for your question. Thank you very much. We have Willems Milla. Good morning, brother. Good morning to you. I hope you are well and having a fantastic day. Let's see. Sekiru Bashiru. Hey, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you have any questions. Yaha asks, I want to ask you whether Joe Biden would add something new in immigration. Yes. There will be incredible changes happening in January after Biden is inaugurated on January 20th. Basically, he's going to undo most, if not everything, that Trump did in immigration. He's going to expand programs. I have a video about the changes to expect under President Biden, and that video has 560,000 views on YouTube. And I stopped checking how many views it had. It has a lot of views, but I'll put it in the comments, and you guys might want to watch it because I think it's pretty informative, and it's my my best effort to try to explain what I think might happen. Let's just take a look. But yeah, I mean, it's super exciting. I think for me, one of the main things is that we will have a different voice. For so long, the voice has been Trump and what Trump does and Trump's anti-immigrant vibe, and that's not going to be there anymore. So regardless of the specific changes, I think it'll be just refreshing to have a voice on immigration in the White House that is not so anti-immigrant, that is not anti-immigrant. Jason says, here's a question. Any changes to the O1 visa renewal and general rules under Biden? I doubt it. I doubt it. O1 visa is for aliens of extraordinary ability. We have a lot of clients in the entertainment industry who have O1 visas and professional athletes. We represent squash players, squash coaches, and others. Here's a great question from Lauren Legal. I like your name, Legal. That's great. Hey, Josh, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your question, Lauren. What will happen with the F2 ban on December 31st? Will it just go away? The answer is yes, it will go away. Now, will it go away on December 31st, or will it go away on January 20th. Which of these 2 dates will it go away? Let me explain. The ban on F2 visas that Trump put into place by proclamation extends until December 31st. So Trump could make a decision to extend the ban because Trump will be president on January 1st and December 31st. Trump will not be president. He will not be president on January 20th at 12 o'clock. So on January 20th at 12 o'clock, this ban will be gone. Whether Trump extends it between December 31st and January 20th is an open question. I imagine he will extend it, but who knows? But once that ban's extended, the consulates can begin processing the old backlog of old cases. Let's go to Crypto Boy. Crypto Boy. I like that name. Your mother named you because she was a fan of Bitcoin. All right. I received a 221G in Mumbai on December 1st. The consular officer told me that they needed additional information. They will mail me. I didn't receive any mail yet. Do you have any idea to go further into this issue? Well, first of all, I'm sorry you didn't get your visa. So December 1st was not very long ago. December 1st was only, I don't even know what the date is today. 9 days ago, 10 days ago, something like that. It takes time. People wait in administrative processing for a very long time, for months and months and months, years even. I think you have to give it a little time. Now, the thing that I do as an immigration lawyer, I'm really focused on visa delays. I wrote a book about visa delays. I have a YouTube channel where I have tons of videos where I answer every question under the sun on visa delays. And I have a Facebook group with 3,500 people in it when we talk about visa delay issues. So I wake up, live, eat, breathe, and sleep visa delay issues. And I can tell you there are only 2 ways out of a visa delay. One is to keep waiting, and the other is to sue them. And that's what I do. I sue them to help people who are delayed. And when I sue them, they issue the visa, and people are very, very happy. Waiting just leads to more waiting, in my experience. But in your case, if you want my help, reach out to me, and I'll do my best to help you out. And I hope you get sorted out soon. Mohammed Umair, our friend on YouTube, thank you. Thank you for spending your time to watch and for posting your question. I'm going to answer it as best I can. When the visa officer keeps a passport and gives a 221G slip, does that mean that visa approval chances are more? No. I don't think it means that you're going to get approved. I don't think it means you're more likely to get approved if they keep the passport. Because I've had people where the consulate has kept the passport for years, and I don't think it really means much. You either have the visa or you don't. And if you're sick and tired of waiting, let me go back to his earlier questions. Mohammed had his interview. You had your F1 interview on December 7th, and you got 221G, and it shows refused to AP. Does that mean I'll get your visa soon? Well, I hope you get your visa soon. I hope you get your visa today. Keep in mind that refused and AP are the same thing. Refused and administrative processing are the same thing. These terms mean that you had your interview and you're waiting for a decision. There's been no decision. That's all it means. All right. Leanne Kelly, our friend on YouTube. When do you think the travel ban will be lifted? It will be lifted on December 31st. It expires on, the travel ban will be lifted on January 20th at 12 o'clock when Biden is inaugurated. That's when the travel ban will be lifted. It should have been struck down by the Supreme Court, but that's when it will be lifted. Abdul Salam, thank you for your question, my friend. You're coming to us from YouTube. Any idea when the embassies are opening in India? The embassies are open in India. The embassies are open in India. Don't let anyone tell you that the embassy in Mumbai and Hyderabad, and these other places. Don't let anyone tell you that those embassies are not open. I know they're open. How do I know they're open? My clients are getting visas from those embassies all the time, including during the pandemic, including in the last few days. How do I know they're open? The State Department on its website publishes monthly statistics showing how many visas were issued in each category in each post. And India is open for business. Now, I'm not saying that their routine services are being processed, but I'm saying that they're open. I know they're open. Don't let anyone tell you that they're not open. Okay? What other questions we got? What else? Why don't you jump on my question and you don't read it? I've been your follower for a long time. Forgive me. Forgive me. Thank you. I'll go back and answer your question. Let me see what I can. I just need to find it. And I will do my best to answer you. I promise. I will find it. I will answer you. Let me see here. Elizabeth. Can you post your question again? I'm going to answer everyone's question because I have a little time today. So I'm going to be on here a while. Settle in, folks. Oh, here we go. Okay. Elizabeth, our friend on YouTube, please. My question is, I filed an appeal for my husband. He did not go with me interview because he's in jail. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear that. They said it's fraud. So I filed an appeal for over a year now with no response. First of all, Elizabeth, my heart goes out to you if your husband is in jail. That sounds like an incredibly difficult experience for you and for him. And I'm sorry. And to be accused of fraud makes it even worse when you're struggling with so much. So I hope you stay strong. And so I don't exactly know what is going on in your particular case. So I'll just give you some general thoughts on your situation. I'm assuming that your I-130 visa petition was denied and that they thought your marriage relationship was fraudulent. And so you filed an appeal of that. And I wonder whether you have a lawyer or whether you have a good lawyer. I think if this is your particular situation, what I would consider doing if I were you is filing a new I-130. And again, I'm just making this up because I don't really know your situation and I could be off base, but I think you want to file a new I-130 visa petition and start over. Consider doing that. If you have a lawyer, talk that over with your lawyer. That's something that I would do if I were you. Consider filing a new petition. If your husband is in prison and you're trying to prove that your marriage relationship is genuine, how often do you visit him? Are you able to visit him? Do you send him presents and gifts and fill up his through the cantina or whatever? I mean, it's a very challenging situation. So my heart goes out to you. I hope that helps. Let me know if I can do anything else to help you out. I want to answer a few other questions. Some people have posted their questions more than once, and they're like, well, why didn't you get to my question? So I apologize. I'm going to scroll back and find Derek, small Derek. Hey, thank you for your question. My wife and I just got married last month. Congratulations. My wife married me. And that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. So she can't wait much longer. What's the fastest way for us to be reunited again? So I'm assuming from your question that your wife is outside the United States and you're in the United States. Or maybe it's the other way around. But essentially, if you're married, you have to file a petition for your wife. File a petition for your wife. That's something that I can help you with. So if you get in touch with me, we can chat more about that. Says here, Orpa Munatsi, can I file an I-130 for my daughter who's 40 years old and her children? Okay, so if you're a U.S. citizen and you have a daughter who's 40 years old who has children, you can file a petition for her, but it takes a very, very long time. It might take 10 years. or more. So I'm going to go back and answer questions. Miloslav, thank you, brother. Josh, can you please advise how long it takes to get an adjustment of status interview after VAWA approval? Thank you for hard work. Okay, this is VAWA is the Violence Against Women Act. It's for people who self-petition when their marriage to a U.S. citizen or permanent resident is abusive. So how long does it take to get an adjustment interview? It should take less than a year. And if it takes more than a year, then I have a strategy to help you get approved. I file lawsuits against USCIS, and that's very helpful. Sandra Herrera, what about Ciudad Juarez? What's the waiting period for a visa? So let me give you my general thoughts on all the consulates. And basically, the entire visa processing system right now is broken. It's stuck. And part of that is because of the pandemic, and part of it's because of Trump, and part of it is because we have one president who's leaving and another president who's coming in, and everything is kind of in flux. So to answer Sandra's question, I think there's going to be a long waiting period. And the issue that I'm focused in on is helping people whose cases are delayed. And when a case is delayed, I go to federal court and I sue the agencies. And I do it because I want to help people be together. Sandra, maybe you petition for your mother or father, or maybe for your fiance or your husband or your wife, or whatever the case may be, your children. Right now, during the pandemic, it's especially important for families to be together. And I don't think that consulates should be making people wait endlessly over and over and over. And that's why I do the work that I do. And if your case is stuck and you're waiting around and you want to get unstuck, then reach out to me and I could definitely help you out. Thank you for your question. Lakota Man. Maybe our friend on YouTube is Native American. I hope so. That's fantastic. My case, IR1, is stuck at the U.S. consulate in Morocco since 2017. Those bastards. They requested me for chats in 2013. We didn't have any more. Can we sue them or apply for a new case? Yes, and yes, you can sue them. You can file for a new case. I hope you contact me. I hope you do, because I would love to help you. 2017 is ridiculous. We need to sue them. That consulate is messed up. They should give you the visa. They should give the visa to your loved one. That's ridiculous. What other questions do we have here? Hassan Imruz, how much time will it take for Biden to reverse the public charge new rules? Yeah. So the public charge rules, I think, will be, Biden is going to reverse all these sorts of rules as soon as possible, but I think it'll probably take a few months to undo that rule, because there are regulations that relate to that rule, and it's woven into a couple different agencies. So, I expect that it will no longer be enforced, but I think that probably in the spring it'll be gone. What about the consulate in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia? Are they working on visas for the family process? Yes, they are. Let me just check the statistics, because I want to share this with you. I wish I knew how to use my computer better, but you got to forgive me. So Addis Ababa in September of 2020, this is just recently, they issued 2 CR1 visas, 22 DV visas, 22 DV2 visas. They issued 2 IR1 visas, and then an SE1 and SE2 they issued, and SE3 they issued about 6 visas. That's not a lot of visas, but it's some visas, and it gives you a sense that this consulate in Addis Ababa absolutely is open. And when I file lawsuits against the consulate, they find a way to issue the visa. They process it. Don't let anyone tell you that these consulates are not open. They are working, and they're issuing visas all the time, every month. Will there be any full funded scholarships in the United States? Yes, there are scholarships in the United States. Definitely. I'm not a good source of information about the availability of scholarships in general. I'm focused in on immigration topics, but yeah, there's a lot of resources for that. Here we have another friend on Facebook who asked a question. My sister filed for my mom. She is in America for 3 years, and up to now, she can't get her. Not sure what your question is or your situation. Your sister filed for your mom 3 years now. If your sister is a U.S. citizen who's 21 years old, that petition could help your mom get a green card, and I would love to help you with that. But I need a little more facts. I need to chat with you about it. I hope that's helpful. Dorothy, she says, I need your help. I'm here to help you. Message me. Email me. I'm here to help you. I'd love to help you. Thank you. What other questions do you have? What's on your mind right now? What's on your mind? Leanne Kelly, thank you. My son is waiting for his fiance to come, K1 from Italy. No interview. Your son should contact me. I mean, I know it sounds kind of salesy for me to say, call me now, but I know exactly how to get these cases unstuck. And let me just tell you a little more about how I do it. So the first question I ask people is, when did you file the I-129F? If you filed the I-129F a year ago or more, in other words, if you filed it a year ago or more, then I consider there to be an unreasonable delay. I file a lawsuit against the National Visa Center, against the consulate in Naples or wherever your fiance is. I sue them, and once I sue them, they'll begin to process the paperwork. And the only other way out of this is to keep waiting, and waiting just leads to more waiting. That's one of my favorite slogans. Waiting leads to more waiting. So please have your son contact me or message me. Jigar Dave, thank you for your question. I don't have immigration status. I'm in the U.S. Is there any chance under Biden administration to get legal status? I've been here for 3 years. Well, if you don't have status and you want to get status, the question is, how do you do that? And the answer is, it depends. You have to explore that with an immigration lawyer, with me or someone else. Sit down and go through your situation. Are you married? Do you have children? Have you been a victim of a crime? Are you in a relationship? What country are you from? Do you have any criminal record? There are lots of things that you'd need to know about in order to answer all these questions. But thank you for your question. Shemzu, hi from Paris. Hello to you. I was inside the United States by the time of the proclamation. My K1 is stuck at the National Visa Center since June. Does it qualify me for an exemption? Paris is using the travel ban not to process my case now. I know exactly how to help you with that. We would file a lawsuit against them to challenge the travel ban and to challenge the proclamation and to challenge the delay. And when we sue them, they will sort you out, and I can help you. I hope you message me. I hope you message me because I can help you. Here we have Kaylin. Please help me. My son was deported. He had a green card since 15 months, and he's now 27 in a new country he never knew. Boy, that's tough. That is a tough one. My heart goes out to you. You need a lawyer, whether it's me or someone else. You need a really good lawyer. The question is, why was your son deported? What happened? How did he, if he had a green card since he was 15 months old, what did he do to lose the green card? Was there a criminal case? If so, what kind of criminal case? And, maybe you could hire a criminal defense attorney to challenge the conviction. But you really need to hire a lawyer to help you with that. It's a very sad situation, and my heart goes out to you. Our friend Robert on Facebook got a green card, and he's a British citizen. Want to travel back to the U.S. in April 2020, but for fear of the C-19 pandemic, I was scared. Will I be allowed back in? I stayed outside the U.S. for more than 12 months. That's a tough situation. I would recommend that you travel back to the United States as soon as you possibly can. If you're outside the United States, you need to get back in. One of the key benefits of becoming a U.S. citizen is that you're not subject to these kind of residency requirements. So down the road, you may consider applying for naturalization again. The regulations are pretty clear right now. If you stay outside the United States for 12 months continuously, then your green card status is deemed to be abandoned. However, we have a viral pandemic, and that's a pretty good excuse for why you weren't able to travel back to the United States. So I think that there would be some great arguments that you could make to keep your green card. But nevertheless, come back, get back here right away. And by the way, when it comes to UK and Britain, I was incredibly moved by the image on social media and the videos that I saw of the 90-year-old woman in UK. She was the first person to get the coronavirus vaccine outside of a clinical trial. She was absolutely adorable. She had a little Christmas t-shirt, and they wheeled her. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they wheeled her out of the hospital room, 90 years old, and everybody was cheering. And I was like, it was very uplifting, and I was very moved by that. And I'm just so hopeful that this vaccine will get us out of this terrible mess. It's going to get worse before it gets better, I think, but hopefully a few months from now, we'll be in a much better situation. But Robert, get back to the U.S. Back to the U.S. quickly. Thank you. I'm going to go back to some other questions. Jason, I guess I'm a cute girl. I don't know. Maybe you are. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, thank you for tuning in. Zohab. Aha! Our friend Surah. Thank you so much for the great news. We knew from my husband's visa, you are the best lawyer. I didn't pay her to say that. I did not pay her to say that. But thank you for tuning in. These are some people who are very special to me, and their case is very important to me. And I've been following their journey. And I want all of your visas approved and all of your cases approved. I want all of it done. I want all of it done. And I'm here to help. Yeah, tonight's the first night of Hanukkah. I have tons of clients and friends in Israel and Palestine. So much sympathy for my friends in Palestine and Gaza and the West Bank and everything they're going through. When I get calls from people who are Palestinian, I just want to do backflips to try to help them out. Hope that everybody is doing okay. Let's see here. World Teacher. All along, the NVC take your application. Stay home, stay home, stay home, stay home. Yeah, NVC. The NVC is broken. They're not doing anything right now. The NVC is doing nothing. They're doing nothing. Looks like Jason is having a conversation with somebody else. I don't know what's going on there, but thank you for your questions. Adrian says, can you come back to the U.S. if you've been deported for an aggravated felony? I think it's probably unlikely. If you have a conviction for a criminal offense that's classified as an aggravated felony, I think the solution is not immigration. The solution, well, your goal is to get back to the U.S., but I think the solution would be to hire a criminal defense attorney to do what's called post-conviction relief. So, Adrian, check out post-conviction relief. There may be a way to open up your criminal proceedings and do something with that. I'm a huge SpongeBob fan, and I'm sending out some GIFs or GIFs with SpongeBob in them. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. What other, let's see here. Here we go. Harding. Howdy. Given how stringent the EB2 NIW rules are, how do you feel about the EB3 unskilled category as a legal and legit way to get a green card and take part in the American dream? Okay, so let me give you a little backstory. EB2 and national interest waiver. So there is a way to get a green card through a self-petition if you can show that you have extraordinary ability, and if you can also show that your permanent residency would be in the national interest of the United States. We help a lot of people get green cards through this process who are scientists or medical doctors. And if you are doing something that is not in the science world, but you have extraordinary ability, then we help people get green cards through what's called EB1A. We have celebrity clients, people who are musicians, and we have a country music star. We have an athlete. We have our office is very proud to represent one of the greatest squash coaches in the world. Squash is my passion outside of my family and my work. I love to play squash. It's a racket sport. It's kind of like tennis or racquetball or something like that, and I just love it. And we represent one of the top coaches from England, and we put together his case, and it was a real blast for me to do. But to get back to your question, how do you feel about EB3 unskilled as a legal and legit way to get a green card? Why not? Why not, Harding? Thousands and thousands and thousands of people, tens of thousands, maybe more, get green cards all the time through EB3. There's nothing wrong with EB3. And it depends on what category you're from. I mean, from the sound of your name, maybe you're from Europe or Australia or something like that. EB3, go for it. And also, don't forget the DV lottery. It's over now. It may come out next year. But take a look at that. Hope that helps. Sharon, our friend on Sharon comes to us from YouTube. Thank you for a question. You came to the United States in 2014 with a C1D visa, got married in 2018 with a U.S. citizen, and have a baby. Can I change status here without leaving the U.S.? Why don't you consider consular processing with a waiver? That's how we do cases like that. If you have a crewman visa, which is C1, you're not allowed to adjust status. So what we can do is we can do what's called an I-601A waiver. So what you should do is look into that. And that's definitely a case that my office could help you out with, because you may think, oh, well, I came in as a crewman with a C1, D1 visa. There's nothing I can do. But no, in fact, there is a solution. It's called the consular process with a waiver. And we can definitely help you with that, Sharon. I hope you contact me, because there is a fix for you. And if you're married and you have a baby, we need to sort you out. Okay. Could you please check the K1 visa processing Naples? My son has been waiting since February 20th. So I guess the question I have for you, Linan, is, when did your son file the I-129F? If he filed the I-129F in February of 2020, it's only been a few months. I would wait until February of 2021 to file a lawsuit, but let me know when he filed that. We have a friend from Eritrea. Here's a story about Eritrea. I've represented a lot of clients from Eritrea. I know the situation right now is very, very difficult there in Ethiopia and Eritrea, and I'm following it with a lot of concern. I used to have in my office a little monument from Eritrea, and when the clients would come into my office, they would see that, and if they were from that area, they would always be very happy to know that I had some connection to Eritrea. To answer your question, it says, my case was approved on January 20th and sent to the State Department for visa processing, but still no change. Can you help me? Yes, I can help you. What we need to do, I keep saying this over and over, we need to file a lawsuit against the consulate. We need to sue them. And that's what we need to do. That's the fix here. So I hope you contact me because I think I can help you out. What other questions do we have here? Ahmed Chaudhry. Sir, I'm from Pakistan. I have so many clients from Pakistan. One of them gave me a cricket jersey the other day, Pakistan cricket jersey. So thank you for that. I'm going to wear my Pakistan jersey in one of my upcoming videos, and hopefully my Indian clients don't get mad at me, and the other cricket loving nations don't get mad at me about this. But it says here, our I-130 F4 has been approved 8 months back, but still no response of what we can do. Our case has been approved after 9 years. Ahmed, the same solution. Contact me. We will sue the agencies. We will get your case approved. And you need to stop waiting. You're wasting your time. Contact me. I can help you. Thank you for your question. Okay. On YouTube, we have Beatrice Gudinez. Thank you, my friend, for your question. Thank you for taking the time to join me and answer this and give me your question. It says, my dad filed an I-130 in 2016. I got approved in my I-130 in August 2020. I filed with the NVC registry. I had to wait for a year. When can I sue? Well, I think you could probably sue right now. Contact me. Otherwise, you'll have to wait forever and ever. So yes, I would love to help you. What other questions can I answer here? Umar Khan. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to you. Actually, it is 11 o'clock, 11:40 in the morning. So it's only morning here. Umar says, I have a question. Well, I have an answer for you, Umar. So give me your question. Anshul Bansal, thank you for your question on YouTube. I want to know that if I come into the USA on a B1, B2 visa, how can I convert into a work permit? What are my options to stay in the US? Wow, that's a great question. That's a very general question, though, because there are all sorts of possible answers. Maybe you could, it's tough. It's hard to say, but there could be all sorts of options for you. Which is faster for Morocco, the fiance visa or the spousal visa? Well, one question that I think would be worth asking if you're thinking about this is, are you married now? Because if you're not married now, well, two questions I would ask. First, have you seen your fiance in person within the last 2 years? If not, then you cannot file the fiance visa. So if you haven't seen that person, you can't file the I-129F. Of course, there are some exceptions to the 2-year rule, but have you seen that person? Have you seen your fiance in person within 2 years? And the second thing I would ask is, if you were to get married, when would you be able to get married? Because getting married is not something that you can do on the spot instantaneously. It takes time. And so that's what I would say. Those are the two questions I would ask, because, if it's going to take you 6 months to arrange to go to Morocco and get married, then that wouldn't be fast. On the other hand, if you have met your fiance in person in the last 2 years, you're eligible to file it that way. So you could do that. So there's a lot of factors. I'd be happy to chat with you. Actually, I think that would be a great video for me to make. Differences between the fiance visa and the spousal visa. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll make that video for you. And I'll also make a video for anyone who has any other questions. If you have a good question, I'll make a full-blown video for you and I'll post it to YouTube. I hope that helps. What do you think about DACA coming back? I think it's great. I love it. I'm so happy about DACA. DACA is fantastic. And there are a lot of people who are on the sidelines never got around to applying for DACA, and now they have a chance. So yeah. Here we have Zirwa Qureshi. I've been waiting for my fiance visa for a year now, and there is no answer. Should I join Milligan v. Pompeo to get it expedited? I've had a lot of questions about Milligan v. Pompeo, which was a lawsuit to challenge K-1 visa delays. And a lot of, first of all, this is a lawsuit that other lawyers are filing, and I'm not aware of exactly what's going on with this lawsuit, just like other lawyers may not be aware of what's going on with my lawsuits. So if you have questions about Milligan v. Pompeo, I'm not a good person to answer those questions. You should probably ask the lawyers who are handling it, not me. But I can say that I've had consultations with at least 10 people who are plaintiffs in that lawsuit who've been very disappointed with the outcome. And again, I don't know exactly what's going on with that lawsuit, what strategy that they used, but I know how to get a delayed K-1 visa approved. I know how to get that approved. I have a lawsuit strategy for this. I can help you. So contact me, and I would love to help you out. All right. Adele, my case was returned back to the USC from Cairo. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is devastating news. That's the worst news possible. I'm really sorry to hear that. Let me give you some advice. File a new case if you can. File it right away. Don't wait for them to contact you. File a new case. Don't wait. Refile. Alfredo Morosco, thank you so much for your question. It says here, they told me it was approved, and then I received an email saying it was in administrative processing. I had to fill out the infamous DS 5535. Well, sorry you're being delayed, but you can get this approved. Anyone can get their visa approved. Anyone can do it. Don't get discouraged. If you need help, reach out to me, but don't get discouraged. Thank you. What other questions do we have, friends? What other questions do we have here? Let's see. I skipped your question 2 times. I'm sorry. I apologize. There's a lot of questions. I'm going to get to your questions. Do you think weed should be legal? Yes, it should be legal. It will be legal. It's only a matter of time. But yes, I mean, I'm not somebody who smokes marijuana, but I don't think people should be locked up in jail for smoking marijuana. I think people should do whatever they want to do. So yeah, and I don't think people's immigration cases should be ruined because they smoke marijuana. So I'm a proponent of ending marijuana prohibition. And that's what's happening in Europe, and the House of Representatives passed a law to legalize marijuana. So yeah, I'm all for it. I've heard that the Democrats plan to establish a new visa category for low-skilled workers from outside the United States. Is that real? There are probably all sorts of plans for immigration, but I think that sounds kind of far-fetched. Maz, you look a lot like Leonardo DiCaprio. Has anyone ever told you that? It says here, I've been waiting to reunite my fiance for 14 months now. Can you help me? Yes, I can help you. K-1 visa delays, I can help you. Right now, I'm writing a book about how to get your delayed K-1 visa approved in 2020. That book will be published soon. But the short answer is yes, please contact me. I'm trying to find the question that our friend said I skipped. I skipped 2 times. Maybe there was someone else I had skipped. I apologize. I'm going to go back and answer every question that I can. I'll stay here for the next 3 weeks. I'm observing that the Islamabad embassy gives more white slips than blue or yellow. I don't think the color matters. I think that color doesn't matter. Whether it's yellow, green, polka dots, I don't think it matters. What matters is you either have the visa or you don't. And I think that the problem is Islamabad is one of the worst consulates on the planet for making people wait. I'm going to try to find Ali. Brother, Ali Bashir, please post your question again. I can't find it. There's a big stream of these, so I apologize. What about EB3? Do you give assistant? I don't know what that question means. I'm sorry. Please explain, and I will try to answer. This is great that you're allowing us to answer questions. Well, I want to thank you for asking the questions. Without your, it makes me very proud that people would take their time to pay attention to what I have to say and ask questions. So thank you. The pleasure is mine. I hope you're good. I am good. I am good. Today is the first day of Hanukkah, so that's a real celebration for me and my family. Not a religious person, but it's just an excuse to eat a lot of food and exchange gifts, so feels good. Let's see what other questions there are. Okay. Facebook user. Sir, my case is in AP, administrative processing. The consular officer asked for a new medical and visa pictures, but the embassy is not contacting us. I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone. There are only two ways out. First of all, what is administrative processing? Administrative processing is a delay that happens after you have completed your interview at the consulate. That's what it means. It just means they're putting you on hold. And the embassy is not contacting you. There are only two ways out of administrative processing. One is to wait it out, okay? Maybe next week you'll get your visa, or maybe next month you'll get your visa, or maybe in 2022 you'll get your visa, or 2023. At some point, maybe they'll get around to issuing you your visa. But at some point, people really give up hope and they stop. They don't want to wait anymore. They want to get their visas, and they should get their visas. That's when I'm ready to help. And I can sue the consulate to get your visa approved quickly. I go to federal court, I sue to challenge the delay. And after I sue, they'll issue to you your visa, very likely. So if you're waiting around, wondering when the consulate's going to contact you, I think you're wasting your time, and you should contact me, and we should file a lawsuit against them. Get your visa approved. I want your visa approved. Okay? Let's do it. Let's get it done. What other questions? Ahmed, I'm from Pakistan. Thank you for answering me. I'm going to contact you. Thank you. Please do. I have so many friends from Pakistan and clients from Pakistan. I get very excited when I get contacted from people in Pakistan. I want to help all of you so badly. Marcio from Brazil. Hello. Shambu. Great program. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Anne says, once Biden takes over the office, with removing the Muslim ban, how long it will take to get an interview for an Iranian from the Ankara embassy? Ankara. That's a great question. First of all, I think the Muslim ban is a disgrace. Everyone should be treated equally under the law, whether you're from Iran or Antarctica or France or Canada or Mexico. You should all be treated equally under the law. And if someone is Muslim or Jewish or Christian or Hindu or Buddhist, you should be treated equally under the law. I hate the Muslim ban, and I'm so glad that Biden won. I'm so glad that he's going to get rid of this ridiculous ban that is a real embarrassment for the United States. He's going to get rid of that ban, and it's going to happen on January 20th at 12 o'clock when he becomes president. The question, though, is how long will it take to get an interview for someone from Iran at the embassy in Ankara after this ban is lifted? And the answer is, I think it's going to take a very long time. Here's what I anticipate. Biden becomes president on January 20th. The Muslim ban ends on January 20th. Then Biden is going to have to staff the agencies with competent people. And this is going to take time. So over the 6-month period, 6 months to a year, this consulates are going to be staffed with competent professional civil servants. And they're going to build up the resources at these agencies. And then over time, they're going to be working through a backlog of delayed cases. So I think it's going to be quite a long process. We have MD Fahad. What's the difference between an additional review and administrative processing? Administrative processing is a delay that happens after you've had an interview at the consulate. That's what it means. It's a delay that happens after you've had an interview at the consulate. I don't know what an additional review is, but they're both just reviews and delays. I don't think that those terms are significantly different in any way. All right. I'm going to see what other questions we have here. Wildlife animal, please, DAPA update, please. DAPA, Deferred Action for Parental Accountability, I think is what it stood for. Basically, it was sort of the sequel to DACA. DACA is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and DAPA was supposed to be a similar program for parents. So in other words, if you came to the U.S. when you were very young, through no fault of your own, you entered the U.S., you could qualify for a deferred action for childhood arrival. But what about the parents? This program was intended for the parents. Biden could look to add that program. I don't see why not. And I hope that he does. I hope that he does. Let's see what other questions we got. Mohammed Sabir Khan, I'm an asylum seeker. I worked without authorization before my asylum got approved in 2019. I already applied for a green card. Would you please answer my question? Please. I'm not sure what your question is. Let's go back. I'm an asylum seeker. Let's see. It seems like you had a good question. You're posting the same thing over and over. Let me know what question you have. Melissa Mel, is it $4,000 for you to file a mandamus to get help out of AP for K1? Is there payment plans? That's roughly what I charge, more or less, depending on the case. Message me and I'll help you. I'm looking for a way to help. So please get in touch with me, email me. We have the holidays coming up. I booked off a lot of time off for the holidays, but I will make time for you and I will help you. MJ, I filed for a K1 visa 1 month ago again and have yet to receive a receipt notice number. Okay, I have some advice for you on that. Did you pay the filing fee with a check? If you paid for it with a check, then look to see if they cashed the check. And if they did, they may have put the receipt notice on the back. But I would give it another month. They're very slow these days. So I hope that tip is helpful. Can I contact you by email? Yes. Let me put my email right here. Please. Contact me by email. Let me put my email here. Let's see here. There we go. That's my email. Send me an email. Let me know how I can help you. That's me. Mohammed Umer asks a question that I really like this question. It says, what's the reason the Islamabad embassy makes people wait this much? Why are we not treated equally? That's a question that I want to know the answer to. I think it's so unfair the way that they make people wait and wait and wait. It's so unfair. And it's not right. And I'll tell you why I think they make people wait that long. First of all, I think that it's bigotry against Muslims. Pakistan is a Muslim country, a majority Muslim country. And I think that has something to do with why people are treated differently there. And I don't think that's fair or right, but I think it's an explanation for what's going on. I have a case recently for someone who has a delayed visa, and that person is in Canada. But it's a dual Canadian Pakistani, and they made the person wait. So I think the consulate in Islamabad just treats people like garbage. They put everybody on hold. And I filed so many lawsuits against them. I can't even tell you how many lawsuits I filed against them this year, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I sue them so often. And it's just like, it's so frustrating. Like, something should change. It's kind of crazy. It says here, I'm an asylum seeker and I worked without authorization. Okay. Let me know what question you have about that. Faisal, thank you for tuning in on Facebook. Can you answer my question, please, sir? I got an approval from my wife for the National Visa Center last year. I submit my documents about 5 months before. Still, they didn't receive the documents. That's terrible. I wonder, Faisal, do you have a lawyer? If not, you should hire me or someone else who's a competent lawyer. But you should not keep waiting around. You need a little bit of help. You need some help. I can help you. Melissa, I hope you contact me because I want to help you. I really do. Let's see here. Binational life. What happens if the package containing the adjustment of status paperwork is not opened by the time my wife's green card expires? It was sent 90 days prior as instructed. Why wouldn't they open it? I don't quite understand that. I'm not sure. Adrian has a question. I'm going to try to find the answer to the question. Let's see. Sandrika, can you answer my question? Yeah, could you repost your question? Let me see if I can find it. Here's a good question from Andy. Will the new vaccine help to speed up the embassies around the world? I hope so. I think that this vaccine looks very, very promising, and I hope that it will be what ends this pandemic. And the end of the pandemic will cause human life to return to normal. I'm at home, working from home for months after months. My kids are not in school. There's so much suffering in the world. And in order to return to normal life, we need to end the pandemic. And the pandemic can only end with a vaccine or, through herd immunity, which requires the vaccine, I believe. if not something else. So yeah, I'm hopeful that the vaccine will cause human life to return, and that means the consulates and embassies around the world will begin to function. There's people are answering. I didn't answer your question completely. Here we have Hatha. Can you help me file an I-130? I live in Kentucky. Absolutely. We have clients all over the country, all over the world, around the world, various countries and states, including Kentucky. Yes. Lexington, all over the place. I'm trying to find some questions. Thank you. Maz, email me. Josh@jgoldlaw.com. I've gotten people who are posting that I didn't answer their question, or that I skipped their question, or I didn't answer their question completely. I didn't answer your question. Could you repost the question? And if I didn't answer your question completely, maybe you could post a clarified question so that I could try to focus in on try to give you the answers that you're looking for. I didn't answer this person's question. So I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. Okay. Is there a statute of limitations for post-conviction relief? That question is not one that I'm capable of answering for a couple of reasons. First of all, you need to look at the state where the criminal conviction happened, and you need to find a lawyer licensed in that state. Second, I'm not an expert on criminal defense, but there are lawyers who specialize in criminal defense, and that's the lawyer who needs to answer that question. So if your case happened in Florida and it's a criminal case, find a criminal defense attorney in Florida. That's my general thought on this. What other questions that you have? Okay. Mohammed Umar. I'm keep going back to him. He's asking great questions. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your help and for tuning in. Is it true that the embassies keep track of our social media and other activities when they give out 221G to anyone? Yes, you're required to disclose your social media handles to the consulate. And so, yeah, they're going to be looking at your social media content, and you want to pay close attention to that. Sadia Hassan, I'm turning 21 this month. I requested expedite. They approved, and it's been 3 months, and I'm at the embassy stage with no interview. You need to contact me right away. Email me right away. You cannot sleep on this, because if you turn 21, you will turn into a pumpkin and you will not be able to get your visa because you will no longer be classified as a child. So yeah, please contact me. Jason, our Square Pants fan. Can you sue an employer for not properly filing a labor cert and an I-140? I don't think so. Maybe. You should contact an employment lawyer to answer that question. Maybe the employer required you to do something, but I don't think that's something I could help you with. I sue USCIS. I sue the State Department, but I have not sued an employer because they didn't do the labor cert. Grace, can I present an immigrant waiver in these times, or should I wait until January 1st? I want to apply for a K-1 visa. Why would you need a waiver? I guess is my question. Why would you need a waiver? If you are eligible for a K-1 visa, you may not need a waiver. Let's see here. What other questions? I'm going to go up and find a few more. I want to get to them all. Here we go. Regal. Hello, Josh. Is there any deferred action while you're waiting for your U visa? Yes, you can get deferred action while waiting for a U visa. It just takes a very, very long time, like several years. But yeah, you can do it. Mohammed Sabir Khan. I'm an asylum seeker. I worked without authorization. I remember your question before my. Okay, yeah, you asked that question before. I'm not really sure what question you have about that. If you email it to me, I will try to answer your question. But I'm not really sure what you're getting at. Here, Maz, is the U.S. Embassy in Pakistan openly processing cases and visas? Absolutely. Let me give you the statistics right now. And I know they're doing visas because I'm suing them, and they're issuing visas for my own clients. JK. All right. In September 2020, the U.S. Embassy in Islamabad issued about 100 marriage-based cases. No, about 200 marriage-based cases. They issued one DV case, diversity visa lottery. This is in September of this year. So don't let anyone tell you that the consulate in Islamabad is closed. They're not closed. They are not closed, okay? They're not closed. They're absolutely not closed. Folks, I hope this has been helpful. I'm going to come on do live more often, and I will be live next Thursday for sure, maybe even sooner. If you have questions or need help, let me know, and just keep your hopes up. We are getting near the end. We can get your case approved. Take care, folks.